When he reads this, he says he does not want to die twice. Despite all fears, he enters the forest of missing children. He is being informed that if he fails to clear this quest, he will die in this place, within the Reinharber territory, to a forest that is off limits. Because of the darkness and the fog, no matter how good of a ranger of Pathfinder 1 is, it is a place where it is not easy to find the way. As its name implies, it is a place where anyone can become like a missing child who has lost their way. However, there is also another meaning for the game in its name, and it is that even if someone is an adult who takes down a demonic beast, he won't be able to get any sort of artifact from it. Nox knows, moreover, a system where the difficulty level of going up against a demonic beast increases dramatically for adults. He wonders how many times he has died trying to find an attack method that fits its name. In that sense, the difficulty of the Forest of Missing Children is at least about 2.5 stars. He says when he played it, he worked hard to conquer it without knowing what sort of item would come out, but looking at it now, it is an item that does fit well with a terminally ill characteristic. He knows the main key to conquering the Forest of the Missing Children is the direction of the fog. On the other side, Talia still can't believe that her good looks did not work. Emma begs her that she must stop following around young Nox. She says if Talia keeps on doing that, then she will be criticized as well. Talia says she will make sure Talia is not fired from her family. But Emma says she has misunderstood her. This is not what she means. Emma says if it was not for Lady Chell, then Lady Talia's a talent that would have already been respected as the next head. She also wonders why Talia is impatient because she feels inferior to her older sister. Later, Talia also comes to the forest while following him. When Nox sees her there, he asks why she is there. But then suddenly, a gray wolf appears there. He says he did not know that this forest is the gray wolf's habitat, and he only has a dagger right now. So he throws a dagger toward the wolf, and within a few moments, he becomes successful in dealing with it. Talia says this is amazing, and she also dears it is just one wolf, but she can't believe he's taken care of it this neatly. After dealing with the wolf, he again asks her why she is here. She says she is just doing a night stroll. He asks her to speak properly, or otherwise, he is going to leave her behind. But she stops him and says it is not like she was trying to follow him, but he suddenly had an incredible growth, so she followed him around in hopes that she could also be like that. And when she looked out the window of night, he was there. So she thought he was going somewhere. So she followed him and then reached a forest. Nox thinks he is certain about 3 things. Talia overvalues him beyond his imagination and does not have any ill feelings towards him. She is a child who does not know that the world is a dangerous place to the extent that she would follow others in the middle of the night. So he can't just leave her here and go, as she is one of the core characters. He then asks her to follow him now. He tells her that he is not helping her. He is just solving a problem so that an annoying incident does not occur to his family. She thanks him for taking care of her. Then many gray wolves also appear there. He tells her that she will be in the way when she sees his sword. Although there are some unexpected variables, he needs to focus again. This place is before the scenario starts. Since it is an area within the prologue, there won't be any boss monsters. But an elite monster 1 rank below the boss monster will appear. The elite wolf is the evolved form of that gray wolf that he cut down just now. But just knowing who his enemy would be does not mean that things will go smoothly for him. He believes there are times when one ought to realize that one may have been driven into a corner. He remembers times like this when he was Yoo Chan and was paying inner lunatic. When he uses powers to attack wolves, Talia says she is sure that he has not revealed his full power yet. His sword technique was even more amazing when he was fighting his brothers. She feels Nox thinks she is still very weak. Nox tells her finally the elite gray wolf is here. Meanwhile, some guards arrive in the forest in search of them. They see here are 2 tracks of small footsteps. It seems they are the young master's and Lady Talia's footprints. They think the young master went into the missing child's forest. Emma is also worried about Talia. She says they must go and report the Reinharber family. But a person asks her not to be foolish, as that is not impossible. When Rotwell asks the reason why not inform Nox's father, that person says it is because it is a forest that not even Reinharber managed to clear yet. Missing Children's Forest is ranked one of the highest within the Reinharber family. While the Reinharber family is known to be the strongest dark family in the South, the fact that there is still a forest that they are not able to clear is basically like saying that they are incompetent. Of course, the fact that only children who have not become adults can enter the forest, and the forest can only be cleared successfully by children, has not been made known to them yet. Rotwell wonders why the young master entered the forest. He does not think Nox was bewitched by a mind-controlling monster. Looking at these tracks, he moved with care. There are no traces of anyone getting past the strongest mana barrier of this estate too. This means that young Master Nox went into the forest intentionally, and Rotwell thinks deeply. He further says he was wrong, and he can no longer refuse to admit that he is not the weak young Master Nox from before. There is only one way for the two of them to return. The young master has to use his wisdom and find their way out of the forest. Emma starts crying as she blames herself and says she is the one who caused the young miss to die. While inside the forest, Nox observes she has not lost her concentration despite being scared. He asks her not to attack unnecessarily, she might get hurt. So she just stays out of this and saves her strength and uses it to run away if she gets attacked. He knows killing an elite wolf is not that dangerous. He just wants Talia to remain vigilant and be able to react to her surroundings. It seems she has learned well, although she is not at the level where he can teach her to cover him back yet. Then his skill, the Hour of the Genius, has been activated. He says for now he will use this skill and kill it in one go. He comes forward to deal with gray wolves then and asks Talia to help him too. He asks her to get away from him, since she will get in the way when he swings the sword. She then helps him in dealing with the wolves. Wolves are also attacking furiously. One of them hurts Nox. After some time, she asks him if he is all right as he is being attacked by a wolf. He still can't believe she helped him. He says this is not the time to be having such idle thoughts. She says that is a relief that he is fine now. They both concentrate on wolves. He says the elite gray wolf is a lot shrewder than in the game. He thinks he is disconcerted. He should have realized it from the moment those pesky mob monsters were controlled. Who knew it would even take advantage of the terrain features? For now, he decides to have to start by defending. He thinks if it could make use of his weak spot that forms, then his side could also make use of its weak spot as well. And the person that can make such a variable is not he. He is still attacking the gray wolf, and soon he kills it. Talia rushes towards him and asks if he is all right. He says there is no need to worry, it is just a little scratch, but it is fine. She says she is glad he is okay everywhere else. Suddenly, he heard a roar of an unknown kind and asked her if is there any monster left. Talia becomes frightened at once and comes close to him. She tells him there is a spider. He says if something like a spider is going to scare her, then she could not have followed him into the forest. He says she definitely won't be able to become a knight. He assumes she pulled her weight. She also helped him earlier to save him, so he is obliged to her. But he could not say it because she suddenly screamed. He then says now they just need to get out of this forest. Meanwhile, Emma is still crying as she thinks she is the one who killed the young miss. The disappearance of Miss Talia will create a problem between both families. Since a lot of children in this area go missing in the missing child's forest, some people secretly say that the Reinharber family is incompetent. Suddenly, a few guards ask Rotwell to look towards the forest. The fog of the forest is being lifted. They are surprised to see that the child's missing forest has been cleared. Emma says for sure it is a fact that mana is being lifted. Rotwell also says it means that the forest has been cleared. The only possibility that they were thinking of has turned into reality. They see the young master coming out of the forest along with Emma. They say to think he'd clear the forest. It is so hard to believe. Rotwell says he can't help but smile only. He is certain now that the hierarchy of the descendants within the Reinharber family is about to experience great turmoil. After coming out, Nox thinks about why everyone is gathered here. Emma rushes towards Talia and hugs her. She tells them they are so worried about her. The people from the family were worried about her disappearance too, young master, says Rotwell. But Nox says he can't believe the family is worried over a good for nothing like him. He thinks the reputation of his family as a dark family is about to go down. Emma says she will tell Talia about the 71 rules of the Stillreiner family again, so please follow her from now on. She says the patriarch will be teaching her the rules personally. She then thanks young Master Nox for protecting their young miss. After coming to his room, Nox says that is over for now. It was unexpected for him that Rotwell was waiting outside the forest with the knights. The good thing is that he has obtained the hidden piece, which is a new artifact. This artifact is an accessory, the Black Flame Ring. Only those who can use dark mana can equip it. The special effect about it is, when one defeats a target while equipping it, he will steal a very small amount of their life force and turn it into his own. The higher the rank of the target defeated, the more life force he will steal. The only artifact that can steal someone else's life force is this Black Flame Ring. He knows that having this ring does not mean he will have a longer life. One's life can't be extended infinitely. And considering that only a very small amount of force can be stolen, it won't be that easy to overcome the terminal illness. As long as he can struggle and progress, that is way better than a life that is hopeless on the verge of death. He can feel his life force and mana raising. Soon Rona arrives in his room. He asks her to play the arm whistle again. She says if she wins again this time round, he will have to increase her salary. He says all right, but if she loses, then 20% of her salary will be deducted. Then they play the game, and finally, he wins the game. She says he must think it is not befitting of a reputable family's son to reduce the salary of a servant's poor pittance by 20%. Nox says yes, that is all right, but he is the rumored good for nothing of the Reinharber family, as per the rumors of someone. So he has decided not to care about trivial things like honor. But later, he says that he will cancel the reduction of her salary. In return, she must go bring him some ice and a wet towel. He says he will be satisfied with getting the ring for now. He needs to get some rest. Later, one day he says it's been 6 months since he got the 2 hidden pieces, Carl and the Black Flame Ring. But there has not been a chance to use them. He is being informed that he has been grounded. He says it is not like he got into any trouble. He even cleared the missing child's forest. He can't believe he is grounded when they should be rewarding him instead. He tells Rona all of this, and she agrees but says she is a maid who belongs to the family, and her salary will be reduced if she speaks poorly of the patriarch. He says that he swears upon his hand that her salary will be reduced if she does not act to his preferences. He says he has been working hard on adapting to this life and living a pretty productive life while watching Carl's growth. He can't carry on like this. His life is being shortened even now. Then the system informs him that the remaining life he has left due to terminal illness is 147 days. He says this darn system is more interested in his life than he is. He decides to go to his father and get permission to go out somehow. Then Rotwell arrives and tells him that the patriarch has summoned him. Meanwhile, Theo remembers in a past life, the night of slaughter, the demons that were swarming there, the humans that were caught up in them, and the night of slaughter. It was like a disaster. Theo thinks someday one of his sons will probably learn the supreme black sword. He can't rely on probabilities, he needs certain talent, because one of them will have to kill him. Then Rotwell arrives and informs him that the young master will soon be here. Theo says ask him to arrive quickly, he is late. The missing child's forest is a place that not even he knows how to clear. To think Nox was able to clear the place, it would be appropriate to reward him. He says the reason he is late in rewarding him is because of the strong objections of the family's vassals. He gets the report after a complete investigation. The vassals did not believe that Nox, who was a good-for-nothing, had changed and began an investigation to check if Nox cleared the forest. Theo thinks he cannot even ignore the opinions of his family's vassals, so the investigation is a necessary process. Then Nox comes there and pays his respect. Theo says he is sure that Nox knows already that his actions were wrong. But as a patriarch, it is his job to give credit when credit is due, even if the credit belongs to a good-for-nothing. So he has summoned him here to discuss his rewards. When Nox says he has a request, Theo says he can only fulfill just one request of him, no matter what it is. Nox says that means father will give him whatever he demands. Even he, who has played tons of hours on Inner Lunatic, is seeing Theo give a reward for the first time. Theo is usually authoritative and stern though. Nox feels like someone just shot him in the head. No, he guesses it is more like someone just slashed him from behind. Then he again confirms would his father will give him anything. Theo says yes, he will give him anything as the Patriarch of Reinharber. But in the case that his request is too ridiculous, his evaluation of him will change, so he trusts that Nox won't do something that foolish. Nox says please give him some time to think this over. Theo agrees and says now he will permit him to leave the estate. But he is not allowed to get into trouble like he did previously. He must always bear in mind that he is of the Reinharber family. The next day, they gather to see off the Talia and his people. Talia tells Nox that they will meet at Eldian Academy the next time they meet. When she asks okay, Nox does not respond to her. Then Theo interferes and says he should answer what a lady asks him questions. So Nox says that is possible for her, will become a full-fledged knight before that. She agrees and says she will return after becoming a full-fledged knight, so he must prepare his head for her. Then Emma says thanks to everyone for everything, especially young Master Nox for saving Lady Talia. After they are gone, he thinks he feels like he is slowly getting used to this weird life. He does not know the exact reason, but he is kind of enjoying it. A few days later, Rona says, by the way, he needs to get a new maid and new servants. Nox starts thinking about it. Then Rotwell arrives there and pays his greetings. He then informs Nox that Eldian Academy has sent a maid in training to assist him. From today onwards, she will be serving him, so she must come to introduce herself, says that new maid. She says her name is Jitri de la Villa and says she will do her very best to support him. Nox also gives his introduction to her. He observes her with his hidden skills and comes to know that she has arrived here to monitor him based on the orders of Theo von Reinharber. This concludes the latest chapter, and we will be ending it here. I hope you enjoyed this recap. See you at the next one.